Hey, welcome back to my channel. Just want to go through the RXSR to the XM Plus. So we're going to have redundant receiver system on this. So we'll get started here. Alright, so what we're dealing with here is the RXSR. We have the ground, the 5-volt in, the S port, and then the S bus for your control. So the S port for your telemetry, S bus for your control, and then S bus in from the XM Plus, which is this one. So the S bus out for the control goes to the S bus in of the RXSR, and then we have the ground and the 5-volt, which is tied into the 5-volt and ground of the RXSR. So what I'm going to do is put the 5-volt in to the XM Plus, the ground into the XM Plus, and then have a short jump from here to the RXSR. Okay, so you're powering the XM Plus first, then the RXSR. And that way you can unplug the RXSR while you bind the XM Plus. Once the XM Plus is bound, then you can plug in the RXSR and bind it. So then both of them will be bound to your transmitter. This one does not have any telemetry, so we're not worried about that, because the XM Plus that I'm using doesn't support telemetry. So we will use the telemetry from the RXSR. Okay, so to give you what that looks like. So we have here the bundle put together. So we'll go through this. The first thing to look at is the power going into the XM Plus. So we have our ground, our 5-volt, and then here the S bus. So if we look at the instructions, you can see the ground and the 5-volt, the ground and the 5-volt. Okay, so that's the ground and the 5-volt coming in from the flight controller. So I soldered it in on the back side of the XM Plus, and this will be the lines for the flight controller. So we have the ground and the 5-volt feeding the RXSR. Okay, and then you have your S bus going to the RXSR, which is this one here, which is your white wire. It goes to your RXSR from the XM Plus. So now we have our two wires here. We have our smart port telemetry and our S bus. So the yellow one is your smart port telemetry. That'll go to the flight controller, and then the green one is your S bus signal. So this is your S bus going to your flight controller. Now these 4 wires will go to your flight controller. So there'll be kind of a nice neat bundle put together here. And we have the antennas opposite sides. So here's a good look at how it's wired. And then we'll just bundle this up nice and tidy. And the main thing is having your wires going to your flight controller coming off the XM Plus. Okay, so we'll just put some heat shrink tubing over the XM Plus. And now we'll put some heat shrink tubing over the RXSR. And we're going to leave just a little bit of space at the end so we can disconnect the RXSR. So just get that shrunk on. And we want to leave a little space next to the plug for the bind button for the RXSR. Okay. So now this is going to fit into the build, simply one over the other, with the antennas facing one direction and the antennas coming from the other receiver out the other side. So those wires go to your flight controller. And I'm just going to basically paste these in with some tape, double side. So here's the camera mount. I like this frame because it has this cutout, so there's no chafing of your antennas, or there's a lot of space underneath here. It's quite free. So for me, this is a good location to put this. Up tilt on the camera, still no binding or no issues with that. So that's basically how I'm going to put it in there. You can see it's quite free.
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning.
So now that we have both of the parts together here, you unplug the RXSR and you bind your XM Plus. Then you plug in your RXSR and bind it. So now we have both of them together here. Now you can see both of them are bound. Now you have the green lights on. If you can see that here, we can turn that light off. So now you can see both of them are bound up. And if I turn off my transmitter, it should go into a fail-safe and both of them should turn off. Okay, so they're looking good. We'll turn the transmitter back on and both of them should bind back up. That's it. Hey, I really appreciate your time. Have a good one.